evening and welcome to Lagos Updates on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. This program highlights the activities of the Lagos State Governor and other state events. I'm Adeola Akindele. We'll begin today with the story. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu treated the strict enforcement of the ban imposed on the activities of commercial motorcycles, popularly called Okada, in 6 local government areas and 9 local council development areas of the state, as well as highways and bridges. The governor stated that the enforcement of the road traffic law would also be stepped up. Governor Sanwo-Olu said Lagosians should expect the 37 kilometers red and 27.5 kilometers blue line rail projects to commence commercial operations between the first quarter of this year and the first quarter of 2023. He also promised to deliver the Immortal Rice Mill, the largest rice mill in sub-Saharan Africa and one of the largest in the world, in the year. From that story, we move to this one, which says Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has set up a 4-man committee led by the Commissioner for Special Duties, Tayo Bangboshi Martins, as a first step to the implementation of the report submitted by the panel which investigated the collapse of a 21-story structure on Gerald Road in Ikoyi. Other members of the committee are Head of Service Hakim Muri Okunla, Commissioner for Justice and Attorney General Moyosore Onigbanjo, and his agricultural counterpart Abiola Olusoya, who is an architect. The governor constituted the committee after receiving the report of the panel at the Lagos House, Ikeja, which was submitted by the chairman of the panel, Toyin Ayinde. Governor Sanwo-Olu said the committee would bring forward a report to be considered by the Lagos State Executive Council, commended members of the Toyin Ayinde-led panel for their commitment and quick response to the assignments given to them by the state government. Speaking earlier, Ayinde expressed hope that the findings and recommendations of the panel's report will be implemented by the government to bring a lasting solution to incidents of collapsed building, not only in Lagos State, but nationally. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has saluted the courage and efforts of fallen heroes and heroines of the armed forces who paid the supreme price of defending the country. Governor Sanwo-Olu, who stated this at the year 2022 Armed Forces Remembrance Day celebration, interdenominational divine Thanksgiving service with the theme, I Will Heal Their Land, held at the Chapel of Christ the Light, Alaosa Ikeja, assured the families of government's commitment towards ensuring that the service of their loved ones will not be in vain.
We will continue to do what is expected of us, to continue to remember them and to say that they are falling, they are free well falling heroes, but their time and their efforts and their commitment in the country is not in vain. The country will continue to remember them and will continue to play our own roles as we are in the point of leadership now. And so we pray that our country will know peace, we know greatness.
The guest preacher, Executive Secretary, Lagos Anglican Schools Management Board, Venerable Victor Olusa, described the theme of the worship taken from 2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14 as apt, especially now that the nation is faced with myriads of challenges, including security, economic and social challenges. He urged all citizens of the country to continue to pray for the leaders as they seek God's face in all they do for Him to heal the land.
The leaders, they have their own inadequacies. The followers, they have their own imperfections as well. Oftentimes, we cast aspersion, we crucify our leaders, destroy our leaders, and yet we expect things to happen. Things cannot happen. It takes unity between the leaders and the led, so that we can have a peaceful nation.
Earlier on Tuesday last week, Governor Sanwo-Olu officially launched the Emblem and Appeal Fund ahead of January 15, 2022 commemoration of the Armed Forces Remembrance Day and donated 50 million naira to the state chapter of the Nigerian Legion. He expressed his administration's commitment to empower widows of the fallen heroes. The event was attended by members of the State Executive Council, top government officials, service chiefs, officers and men of the armed forces, serving and retired, and their families, religious leaders, among others. The Director General, Office of Education Quality Assurance, Abiola Seriki-Ayeni, says 640 out of the 720 schools visited by the office complied with the January 4, 2022 resumption date set by the Lagos State Government, signifying a compliance rate of about 89%. Seriki-Ayeni, while commending the schools that adhered to the state's resumption date, lamented that about 80 schools failed to comply. She clarified that the government had no plan to sell any school, as this would be counterproductive to learning. The Director General explained that rather, the Office of Education Quality Assurance only issued letters and placed stickers on non-compliance on the gates of schools that disobeyed the directive. Seriki-Ayeni clarified that the directive for public and private schools to maintain a uniform calendar was not new, as it had been in place for several years. She said the renewed enforcement was imperative because of the interruptions to school days occasioned by COVID-19 and the accompanying lockdowns. She also recalled that in June 2021, there were meetings between representatives of the state government, private school proprietors, private school associations, and other relevant education stakeholders, where it was agreed to ensure that the calendar and the January 4th date would be adhered to. She appealed to public and private school administrators in Lagos State to work with families to ensure that children are in school as expected and start the new term on a sound note. Also, during the week, President Muhammadu Buhari visited the Lagos residence of the head of the interim national government during the annulled June 12, 1993 presidential election, the late Chief Ernest Shonekon, to commiserate with the deceased family. President Buhari was accompanied to the Lugard Avenue, Ikoyi residence of the late Shonekon by the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun, and their Yobe State counterpart, Mai Mala Buni. President Buhari and his entourage, who arrived at Shonekon's house around 4:40 p.m., were received by members of the late Shonekon family. Buhari was on a one-day presidential visit to Ogun State to commission some project by Governor Dapo Abiodun's administration, stopped in Lagos on his way to Abuja. He sympathized with the family over the demise of the former head of the interim national government, who died in Lagos on Tuesday at the age of 85. Governor Sanwo-Olu, in a condolence message issued on Wednesday by his chief press secretary Gboyega Koshile, described the late Shonekon as a renowned technocrat, seasoned administrator and passionate leader who served his country meritoriously as a public servant during his short tenure as #1 citizen in Nigeria. He said the late elder statesman did his best for the country in contributing to the growth and development of Nigeria. He also praised Shonekon's contribution to the economy of Nigeria as boardroom guru, an employer of labor, especially during his tenure as the chairman and managing director of the United Africa Company. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu also described the death of the former governor for Oyo State, Otunba Adebayo Alao Akala, as a great loss to his family. The people of Oyo State, particularly sons and daughters of Ogbomoso and Nigeria as a whole. Governor Sanwo-Olu also commiserated with Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde, as well as leaders and members of the All Progressives Congress (APC), both at the state and national level, over the demise of the party's apex leader in Oyo State. Sanwo-Olu, in a statement issued by his chief press secretary Gboyega Koshile on Wednesday, said that Alao Akala's shocking demise has opened a deep sore in the hearts of people of Oyo State and Nigerians who looked up to him as a rallying point and a political stabilizer. The governor also sympathized with the deceased family and urged them to take act, noting that the former governor's service to the people of Ogbomoso, Oyo State, and Nigeria as a whole will remain his enduring legacy. Finally, on the program today, Lagos State Government has put machinery in place for effective monitoring and management of the 2022 budget of 1.75 trillion naira to ensure its successful implementation. Speaking during the breakdown of the budget on Friday in Alausa Ikeja, Commissioner for Economic Planning and Budget Sam Egube noted that the budget is made up of 1.167 trillion naira capital expenditure and 591.281 billion naira recurrent expenditure, resulting in a capital to recurrent ratio of 66.34, which is strongly in favor of capital expenditure. According to Egube, focus areas of the budget include investments in infrastructure, construction of 8 stadia across 5 divisions of the state for youth development and community sports, school infrastructure, construction of roads, including 6-lane Lekki-Ekpe Expressway from Eleko Junction to Ekpeti Junction, Okwebi Link Bridge to Maryland, procurement of 62 fire vehicles, and construction of 130-bed new Massey ultramodern and fit-for-purpose pediatric program and emergency general hospital, food security, and technology.
May I also use this opportunity to make a passionate appeal to all citizens of Lagos to participate in governance, to speak up, to make suggestions to government, to ensure we pay our taxes, and ensure that we drive the entire system as responsible citizens.
And with that story, we conclude this week's edition of Lagos Update, a program that highlights the activities of the Lagos State Governor and other state events. You can listen to Lagos Traffic Radio on our website www.trafficradio961.ng and follow us on our various social media platforms: Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961, Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. On YouTube, subscribe to our channel, Lagos Traffic 961. You can download our app, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM from Play Store for more updates. Thanks to my producer, Babatunde Akinyemi, and studio engineer, Oyeshola Ola, with support from the social media team. The executive producer is Tayo Akunle. I'm Adeola Akindele. Next week is another date. Stay blessed and stay safe.